Hello friends. The U.S. intelligence agencies, in conjunction with DARPA, Stanford Research Institute, Los Alamos National Laboratory, and companies like Raytheon and Lockheed, have set up a counterinsurgency war that is taking place on a worldwide basis, aimed at potential enemies such as political activists and whistleblowers. These targets are generally people with a very high IQ who are capable of influencing the people around them, as well as having a history of political activism. This counterinsurgency war that is being waged against these individuals is portrayed as a type of a stalking game, the most dangerous game, perhaps called Watch Him Run, or some such game, that is taking place on the internet so that people can observe the targets using DARPA-created tracking technology, GPS technology, and RFID that follows the target everywhere they go, in their home, their car, their place of work, or even in cross-continental travel, anywhere on the surface of the earth. There is nowhere that the targets can escape this game, the stalking game. These people who are being tormented have been portrayed as criminals. However, the opposite is the case. The targets of torture and intimidation and destruction, the good guys. This tracking game relies on attacks using microwave weapons as well as organized stalking to make the life of the target a living hell, to where they eventually succumb physically and die from the effects of non-ionizing radiation, or due to the extensive and never-ending torture they are forced to commit suicide. The target experiences physical attacks on their body. Microwave weapons are placed in close proximity to where they live and where they work, and are even placed in their cars if necessary. These miniaturized electronic devices, in essence antennas, are capable of tracking and attacking the target with microwave frequency that can deliver shocks, stabs, or subdermal burns to their physical bodies in a continuous manner, or perhaps every few minutes. Their body experiences internal heating and burns, sleep disruption, sleep deprivation as a primary tactic to slowly break them down. These types of physical attacks are complemented with attacks on the mind of the subject. Dr. Jose Delgado perfected the use of a brain-to-computer-to-brain feedback loop so that he was able to give a continuous stimulus and response type signal to his patients. This is exactly what is used to attack the target. Their EEG is hit with an antenna. It causes an interference pattern. This is downloaded and demodulated to capture the target's EEG in real time on a computer. This EEG pattern is then stimulated with responses from the computer such that their moods or their thoughts can be controlled as one would shock a mouse as it moves through a maze in order to control the direction that it moves in. These types of attacks on the mind of the target are insidious and terrifying. These broadcasts can broadcast fear or anger or other negative emotions at the target, as well as making them see imagery such as physical mutilation or the torture and murder of adults and children, and other negative imagery to stimulate a sense of victimization with the target. Microwave hearing was perfected by Dr. Alan Fry in 1958. This technology is used to attack the target with a continuous stream of negative verbal messages, death threats, and negative verbal taunts and curses that in effect fill their ears entirely through all their waking hours. This technique was perfected by CIA psychiatrist Dr. Ewan Cameron. He termed it psychic driving. This is used to slowly crowd out the inner dialogue of the target and to break down their personality, termed depatterning. These technologies are terrifying and slowly destroy the consciousness and the purposeful thoughts and behaviors of the target. In effect, a terrifying form of behavior modification and manipulation of the target. If this type of torture was not maddening enough, organized gang stalking is utilized to further traumatize the target. Large groups of individuals are participating in this tracking stalking game of these targets, several thousand of which reside in the United States alone. These targets are tracked by the organized gang stalkers using their cell phones or the internet. In effect, they are able to locate the target at all times within a foot of their actual location anywhere on Earth. The organized gang stalkers have been shown video that portrays the targets in a negative light in order to discredit the target, as well as to motivate the stalkers into using verbal assaults, as well as even physical assaults and harassment within the community to drive the target out of the community and perhaps to force them to commit suicide without ever laying a hand on them. The average target is being assaulted both physically and verbally at all times in a way that they cannot discern who is doing this to them, nor can they block this using any type of Faraday cage or other electronic device to interfere with these signals. When this target attempts to go to the store or go to work or go out to public, the organized gang stalkers are waiting for them. Some of these people do this for small transfer payments. Other stalkers do this merely for the enjoyment of tormenting and hunting another human being and receiving a psychological high, as well as being part of a larger group. They are told that they are helping the police. However, there is nothing lawful about these antisocial acts that they all engage in. Typically, the organized stalking gangs will follow the target into stores or into their place of work or anywhere in the community. They will in effect surround them at a restaurant sitting at nearby tables and begin to say inappropriate things to them. The target walking down the street perhaps will be cursed by total strangers who may stand in front of them and block their path, spit right in front of them, physically invade their space and bump into them on purpose in a manner that is indistinguishable from that of an accident. When the target is alone, these stalkers are very brazen and will go right up to them and curse them and say the same negative things, the keywords that are being used in the microwave broadcasts. The organized stalkers are given clues how to verbally harass the target, such that what is said to them in public by total strangers is exactly more or less what is said to them through the microwave hearing attacks. These are attacks on their hygiene, their appearance, their intellect, verbal assaults that are designed to make the target feel victimized and be stuck in a cycle of fear, anger, and retaliation that neutralizes them and slowly drives them from the community and from the company of other people, and instilling a fear of going out in public. These types of organized gang stalking groups are in effect everywhere. These people are given gas money, small amounts of money for participating, while other organized stalkers do this full time and are paid normal salaries, in effect, to professionally harass other citizens. This nightmare that the target experiences of running the gauntlet wherever they go, as well as being physically attacked at all times of the day and night, as well as having their conscious internal dialogue crowded out with a constant verbal stream of cursing and death threats. This hellacious program is designed to slowly degrade and eventually to destroy the target in a way that is completely plausibly deniable.